if you take away from football, I genuinely think it's a problem with society as a whole. Like, we seem to have progressed so far with many things, like rights of humans, rights of women, so on and so forth. But there's just been very little progress in terms of dads.
Have you ever been in the situation? I don't know whether it's been said outright to you guys, but I've always got the vibe of like, can't your missus do that?
The message I got back was, I can no longer communicate with you because it's a conflict of interest. You're not my client. The children's mum is. It's going to sound crazy, but I actually genuinely think it's male-run organisations that are some of the biggest problems when it comes to giving dads flexibility.
Yes, people, welcome back to DadPod. My name's NT.
I'm Chris.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Will.
Yes, and on DadPod we talk about life, being dads, and everything in between. On this episode, we're keeping it World Cup themed with a little bit of a twist, as it's still going on, knockout stages currently. But some recent news has come across from Jeremy Doku, the World Cup superstar from Belgium.
About superstar, but fair enough.
He's good, but
He's all right. He's all right.
end product.
He's all right. He's getting there.
Bit better than Manuel.
Yeah.
But yeah, he recently left the Belgium national team to go and be at his child's birth with his wife/partner, and received quite a lot of backlash from it. There was some quite harsh comments from certain commentators that
you had,
Chris is going to read out.
Pierron,
Yeah,
however you say her name.
this woman. There's quite a lot she said, but the main bit is you're living out a childhood dream, yet you're going to walk away from it all to attend the birth of your child. A disgusting moment, if you'll pardon the expression, where the dad is completely useless. Yeah. Now that.
Yeah, so that
has triggered.
Yeah, that has triggered quite a few of us. So on this episode, we're going to kind of talk about the double standards of being a dad, basically.
Yeah.
So for me, that comment is not valid at all.
So
No.
I'm gonna start off by being as defensive as I can for it. Just in the sense of being at a World Cup.
Bobby loves playing devil's advocate.
Sort of exceptional moment. You know, it's kind of once in a lifetime for most people.
It is a
and
childhood dream.
it's almost an impossible thing. But then, the kids are your kids.
Yeah.
Exactly,
And using the same terminology as you've just used, that specific child's birth is once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Literally once.
Yeah, you can have
Literally
another
once.
child, you can attend childbirth again, but that's not going to be Alfonso's
Does
birth, is
anybody
it?
know whether that's his first child?
Yeah, it's his first child.
His first child.
Yeah.
Even still.
So,
Even still, like
to be fair, the first...
you should be at
is most
every one,
important.
but the first one, like everything's brand new.
There's no way in the world that anything would stop me being at the birth of my child. I think it's ridiculous that people would even question.
Yeah, I literally, when my children's mum went into labour, she got to get transferred from the local hospital in Birmingham all the way to London because my children were 2 months premature, far from ready to be born, when they decided to burst their sac and wanted to come out. And so they needed to be moved to London because it was post-COVID, but that weird lockdowny time in 2021, you know, when everything was like, not locked down, but restricted.
Yeah. A lot of the restrictions were more casual.
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I didn't get to go to no baby scans and stuff like that because you could only have one person in the room, and that's the person who's being scanned, not any guests or anything. She got transferred to London, but they wouldn't let me in the ambulance again because of the restrictions. So I had to basically get myself to London while she's in labour, and I'm not missing it for the world because it's for starters, it's my kids. Yeah. And for second, it's an experience that you're never going to get again, especially if you're from Birmingham and your kids are being born in London, you know what I'm saying? Like, Paddington, they're posh and that, you get me? Little cockneys. Jeez.
So obviously I wasn't there for my second daughter's birth.
Wasn't you playing COD if I remember right.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because
I said
we mentioned it on the pod. We've done an episode about this.
Yeah, out of context, that sounds really bad.
But
Go back to the previous episodes and you'll
but
find out
obviously
why.
That was sort of, that was like heavy COVID restrictions because that was like May 2020.
Yeah,
So that was like start of COVID, start of lockdown. But again, like I could take that because it was like I needed to stay at home with my other daughter. So I wasn't able to be there for my second kid because I needed to be there for my first. And the mom and the nan were there for the second. So it's like, so that for me kind of makes sense. But then something that's kind of optional or career-wise, again, it's very rare that anyone will get a chance to represent their nation in the World Cup. But your kid is literally once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
They're only born once.
Yeah, but I think the other element to it is that a lot of people assume that sports personnel, like career sportsmen and women, have a completely different set of rules to the rest of the public. Like,
that's very true. Yeah,
yeah, it shouldn't be like it. Like there's been cases when players partners are having kids during the Premier League season or stuff like that, and they've missed a game, and people are moaning about it. Oh, we needed you on Saturday. Well, my partner needed me.
Yeah.
Just because they earn all that money does not relinquish their right to go and
be a human.
Partner.
Just to be a human, just to be, because like we all get sick, we all need days off, and we don't get. We might get crucified by a boss, but we don't get crucified by thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all over social media because we've had to miss a session.
I think it's quite deep rooted in sort of like competitive sports in the sense of like, so there's another footballer, and I can't remember if it was Ben Foster or someone Ben Foster was talking to, but the manager said they didn't want them to go, they wanted them ready for a game. And then the player, whether it was Foster or the other person, was like, no, I'm going. And he's like, right, okay, come back after then because we want you for the game. So he's gone back, and then the manager didn't use him.
And then he's put him on the bench, yeah.
And
I remember seeing that. I can't remember who
That's
it is,
disgraceful.
Yeah.
And
that's
like,
mad.
and that's
Made
just
a
one
geezer come
instance,
back
but there's
from-
loads of like over the years, I couldn't think back to exact details, but over the years you've heard of all sorts of like them missing the child's birth, or there's outrage because they went and attended.
Yeah.
And you just like, I think that's one part of it anyways, like, potentially it's debatable for if it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to change your family's life, like, if you was about to set for 20 million quid. For that one day, and the whole your whole life.
No, I get it. Like,
fair, but
there's certain
the
things
rare
that might-
circumstances of that,
and
then
it's made as well. Like, you ain't gonna worry about that. But then the worst part of that is the fact that it says we're basically useless.
Yeah, the useless terms. What's the killer of that entire phrase? And the word disgusting.
I heard to describe it as a disgusting moment.
Yeah,
to attend the birth of your child.
Yeah,
is absolutely ridiculous.
This is what I'm saying, and I think if you take away the sports, because as people have pointed out in the comments, I know nothing about football. I'm too broke for that. All right. So just to clear that up,
and it's not affected him in any way.
No, it's not. No. It's not because I go to work at 9 a.m. But anyway, like if you take away from football, I genuinely think it's a problem with society as a whole. Like we seem to have progressed so far with many things, like rights of humans, rights of women, so on and so forth. But there's just been very little progress in terms of dads and rights of dads, from anything from family courts to just being able to take a day off to go watch your kids play at school, stuff like that.
What triggered me from her comments was I just feel like what she said was a real archaic way of thinking.
Yeah.
So like back in the day, like say 70s.
Yeah, traditionally
like
the
dad wouldn't be around. They'd just come when the baby was
there. No paternity leave or nothing.
Yeah,
yeah, there wasn't really.
Yeah, had a baby today.
That's what I'm saying. So
or they'd be waiting in the pub.
Yeah, they'd be at the pub
they'd
and
hear
they'd get
the news, and then they'd go
get off,
go and see the child.
Wetting the baby's head. That's
Have
where
a drink. Have a drink for the baby before.
But like that we're far removed from that now. That's not the case.
That's exactly what I mean.
We want to go and support our partners when they are giving birth to our children. We want to be present and
Our
we want to
partners
be
want us
there.
there as well.
And not only
Exactly,
that,
our partners want us there
If
as
you-
well.
If you minus the partner bit-
it's a family moment.
Yeah.
if you minus the partner bit and family bit, it's actually beneficial for the child because you see them first interactions they have with humans, the skin to skin bit.
Yeah.
It's actually quite essential. And I know it sounds a bit crazy, but I only had skin to skin with one of my children because the other one was on oxygen and everything, and no one could actually touch him. And the one I had skin to skin with, their mom didn't straight away because she was obviously really, really down and whatnot. She'd just been through several different anesthetics or whatever and all the medication you have when you have a surgery. So she was kind of out of it. So I had the skin to skin first, and that child's closer to me and always has been closer to me than he has with mom, and then vice versa with the other, because when the other come off oxygen, I was at Tesco's getting my meal deal because the hospital didn't feed me, you know. I weren't important. They fed the children's mum, but not
Other
me,
meal
so.
deals are available.
Yeah, there is other meal deals. We're not sponsored, but it was the closest place.
Just
But I was
not the hospital.
So I was getting my meal deal when he was announced that he'd come out the incubator, we could have skin to skin. So naturally, the children's mom had skin to skin with him first. And I generally see that now that they're older, which one prefers mom, which one prefers dad. And I've seen it when there was babies as well, though, because one would settle down in my arms straight away and the other one wouldn't. And then it'd be vice versa with their mom. The one that settled down with me wouldn't settle. And I think it is literally that skin thing. So I think it's important for the kids as well that the dad's there because it's that first initial contact and you're the first people they see.
Yeah. And this is why like the length of paternity leave in the UK is absolute joke as well.
Oh.
Like 2 weeks is nowhere near enough. I think we covered this on a
Yeah, we did. We
different
covered it on
episode, but there's that account. The dad shift is still doing bits.
I think there has been a bit of a development around paternity leave, but in order for you to get extended, the mom has to give up some or something like that. I'm not accurate on it, so no one quote me.
They have to share.
There's some sort of link, but I'm
We
pretty
believe
sure.
information about like the advancements of paternity leave.
Yeah. I think there has been some sort of, but it's still not, in my eyes, enough.
I've noticed so much since becoming a parent, like the attitudes within the workplace towards like dads and that, and especially in my situation being a co-parent, best way to describe it, I suppose. Like obviously on the weeks that I have my son, I have to do school runs and all that business. So, and I'm always really, really upfront with when I go for an interview or like start a new role, new contract. I'm like, this is the way it is. This is the way it has to be because like this is our situation. So you are hiring me on this basis, and it's always like, yeah, that's fine. And then like this notion of flexibility that everyone's
dangled in front of you like a carrot.
Yeah, like shoehorn into their job description, and then when it actually comes to
being flexible,
they're like, "What's going on? What's this all about?" It's like it's a surprise. I was like,
"This is
knew this from the drop."
Yeah,
this has been one of my biggest problems with employment. Especially Natty knows me. I think the longest I've lasted in an actual employed job where I've got a gaffer and I have to ask permission to have time off for the kids or anything like that. I think the longest I've lasted is like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm not a good worker, because they all beg for me to come back after. Well, majority, except for the 1 or 2 I've had choice words with. But the ones that I didn't have choice words with and I just left amicably have always offered me to come back when my circumstances permit.
Yeah.
Basically when I'm willing to put work before my kids, because I would always be like, mate, I'm finishing at 3 o'clock. I don't care what you're saying. I'm picking my kid up.
Yeah.
You're not going to bow me because you pay me £12.71 an hour or 14 quid an hour, because Taxman takes half of it anyway. So screw that. I'll go self-employed. That's why I've always been self-employed, because I feel like when my partner was going for work, it's a lot easier for her to get the flexibility than it was for me in terms of school runs and stuff like that. So she explains to employers, oh yeah, I've got little ones that I need to go be for schools. They always give her the hours around it. When I do it, it's, okay, if we do that and we move that, then you're going to have to work this day. Yeah. And at one point, they had me giving up Saturdays so I could do school run in the morning.
Have to make up the time.
So I could start half hour later. They made me work 4 hours on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I was given an extra hour and a half than my contracted hours anyway, because when you do the maths, it's an extra hour and a half. But to start half hour later the compromise was you coming on a Saturday on normal pay, not overtime pay, normal pay. So that's what I mean.
That in itself is taken away from the kid as well.
Exactly. So it's like you're allowing me to do the school run, but then you want me to give up me Saturday morning where I take them swimming or I take them football or take them, you know what I'm saying? So I've never got on with employment.
And have you ever been in the situation? I don't know whether it's been said outright to you guys, but I've always got the vibe of like, can't your missus do that?
I've never had that vibe because of where I work.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, I've never experienced it, and maybe it's because I work with young people, so maybe it's kind of just like, oh yeah, the parent of course.
See, I haven't had.
But, so maybe it is that, but like I've never had that situation.
I've never had the gaffer say it, but I've had other, because I worked in garages a lot, and that's a very male, very toxic masculinity banter environment, and a lot of the time when I'm saying certain things I do, why doesn't your missus do it for you, man? Yeah. What do you mean? Why doesn't she? Does do it? We do it together.
Yeah,
that's you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just as involved. I want to raise my children. I don't just want to be a cash cow to my kids.
Yeah.
Dads before me were just going to work and being cash cows and providing, which is fair enough. If that worked back then, that worked. But that's not what I want to be. I want to be emotionally involved. I want to be physically involved, not just financially. Yeah. You know, like. So yeah, I've never really got on with employment.
It feels like someone who has a platform like Ducku, they're trying to take that away from him.
Yeah.
Making him feel ashamed for going and supporting his family.
Somewhat demonising it as well, aren't they?
Being in a moment that is life-changing and, like you said, is once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Do you know what? He works two ways as well, because I know that, like, I had this whole tedious thing where, like, I'm when I'm doing a job, I'm invested. I'm willing to put the time in. But then, like, when I did have that sort of, it was like to go to a Christmas play, and I'd done some extra time or something, and then my manager was like, "Oh, you're going to balance that off for the time you took to go to your kids' play," and I was like, "Wow." Like, and that, like, don't get me wrong, that, like, straight, like, matter of fact, they're right to say that because I had that time, and then you know it balanced off whatever. Then I'm thinking, okay, so if you're not willing to be flexible with me for that, you can ask me to do anything outside of hours, and it's just going to be a flat blanket. You know?
Yeah,
not happening. I'll do my hours.
Yeah, make it work both ways.
This is my point on, like, it's only flexibility is only on their side, and it's like when it comes to it that you actually need flexibility with this. I've always said, like, I'm happy to, like, make up any time or, like, whatever on the night time after the kids are in bed or whatever, but it's always come to a point where it's sort of hung over you, like, oh, we've been so good to you with this flexibility where we've allowed you an extra half hour or whatever to go and pick up your kids. I'm not leaving, like you said, I'm not leaving my kids at the school gates and
looking around
just so I can send a few more emails or bloody.
The thing is,
it is ridiculous.
And that's the thing. Like, if they're willing to be like, you know, like, I've got to go and get my kid from school, or I've got to go and go to this play or this sports day or whatever, I don't mind if I end up doing an extra 3 hours on top of what they owe me if I've worked a bit more because I've got to get my job done. Because they're flexible with me, I'm flexible with them.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's got to be done. I'll do it.
This has always been my case. If you're fair with me, I'm fair with you. But just don't take. Basically, if I give you an inch, don't take a mile. Because I'm not going to take a mile from you when you give me an inch. You let me go see the play, that's good enough. I'll make up them hours for the play. But then just because you let me see the play, don't think I'm going to stay back and do them 6 clutches that have been sat in the back of the garage for the past month and nobody wants to touch them. That's not my business. Mate, I don't do clutches, I do body repair. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's but that's what they used to do. They used to get me to do things that I didn't do or the stuff that nobody wanted to do. Yeah. And the reasoning behind it was, so you know how I let you go see this? It would always be something along them lines. Or, oh, you know how you started half hour later today? Do you mind staying over for 2 hours? What do you mean staying up? What? Where's the balance in that? Like, it was always, when they wanted a favour, they would mention the favour they give me. Yeah. And it's like, come on.
It's always point scoring.
Exactly that. And I'm not saying women don't experience this, because I know women do experience it. Yeah, but I question.
I think it's, you know, some employers work things differently. I've found that the ones that are more flexible will get a lot more productive staff. But there is still that whole sort of mums are expected to do more for the kids. And
This is
dads
the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And employers would sort of have a bit of a question mark if the dad seems to be the most.
Yeah, I
involved or
know. I know women will obviously still have similar, if not the same, struggles in terms of the flexibility of the employer, because employers have their strict schedules and timelines and whatnot. But my question is, why is it when a woman says a child's sick and they need a day off, no one says to her, "Can nobody have them for the day?" But when I say it, the gaffer turns around and says, "Can't your mum have them? Can't their mum have them? Can't..." Like, tries to find different people to have my children while my children are sick, asking for me so I can come do work for him. Like, come on.
You can jog on.
But then when the missus has phoned up workplaces, I know in my experience, I'm not saying it's all women workplaces and whatnot, but when she's phoned up her workplace, kids are ill, they're like, "Oh, okay, no worries, hope they get better, we'll see you when you're next in."
Yeah.
But then when I phone up, it's, "Can't your missus, or can't you get your mum, or can't they go to some like daycare or something?" They're bloody ill. They want dad. I'm staying home, bruv. Bye.
I do think it is certain like workplaces though, because where I work, they give you what they call flex time.
Yeah.
If you've put in extra hours, you get them back.
Yeah, you get to use them.
Yeah. And like
Same as my place.
yeah, so like if I say, for instance, if I start at 6 a.m, I work, then for an hour, I get the kids ready, get them to school. I can clock out for that hour and then clock back in, and then
Because you started hour earlier. Yeah.
If I've then worked 6 hours instead of the 7, I am then minus 1 hour.
Yeah, and
So
then it can...
I can make it up another day. So I could do like half an hour on, if that was the Monday, I could do like half an hour on the Tuesday, half an hour on the Wednesday, and it's made back up.
Yeah.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I actually genuinely think it's male-run organisations that are some of the biggest problems when it comes to giving dads flexibility, which I know it sounds mad, but in my experience, when I've worked and the female's been a superior, they've been a little lighter on me around children. When I've had a male superior, that's my experience. I'm not saying
Is it because they're coming from the old sort of...
That's what I think it might be. They either they parented their children that way because it's usually
like,
older blokes, or their dad parented them that way. Their dad weren't around.
I am assuming here, but like the higher you go when you're at the echelon of employment,
the older you
basically running it,
generally are.
They're just bringing in the money and not being that present with
because the amount of time and that demands.
Yeah, because the amount of time
that they've
and effort they have to running that business.
Yeah, of course. This is what so that's what I've noticed in my experience. The pattern is when I've got a male that's my gaffer, it's a bit harder to get that little bit of time off. But when I worked for the youth service, I had a female gaffer, and she was quite open to because at the time I was going through court when I was doing youth service stuff. And they was quite open and flexible and helpful. If anything, actually provided some extra support and tips and pointers and websites to go to and signposting just to help me out personally so I could deliver better in my role as a youth worker at the time. But when I was a mechanic doing work in a garage, the gaffer he didn't care. And I don't know if it might just have been him. I won't name and out him or anything, but it might have just been him that was just anti, you don't need to go do this for your kids, get someone else to do it. But is that your guys' experience? Well,
in my experience, it's you get better flexibility from people who have kids themselves.
That's exactly my
okay, to be fair, when referring to
got a kid and they're your superior. There's no flexibility. They don't get it.
Yeah, because they don't have
just
an understanding from.
They say, flexibility, and they'll say like, we did this for you, so you do this
for us, and
they just don't get it.
Yeah,
whereas
flexibility for them means you will be flexible for us.
Yeah, exactly. But when I've had superiors who are our parents themselves, it's just like you got to do what you got to do. So you sort the kids, and then
I think that so let's say everybody was fully supportive of Doku going for his child's birth. He's going to be so much better around that squad, around that manager, but in his job, and you know what I mean.
Does anybody know whether he's come back to the?
Well, they're out
national
now,
team?
aren't
So are they out now?
Yeah,
No, they're through.
they've gone through.
No,
they managed to get
Belgium's
through,
in
but-
knockouts.
So
isn't
has he
they're
come
out.
back? Has he come back to the
They're
national
out.
team then
I
for
think
the
he
knockout
has.
stage?
I think he has.
Yeah, I think.
But
Well, you guys carry on, and I'll find out if Doku's come back.
Because yeah, you're right. So like he could have been really supported, went out, went.
He might have been by the squad. We don't know, do we?
Yeah.
Probably was, to be
we
honest.
don't
He
know.
probably was, and he probably was with the manager. It was just the outside noise.
yeah.
Okay, so this is
Go on.
star winger Jeremy Doku has officially rejoined the squad after briefly return. So very keyword
Yeah.
briefly. So he's literally just turned up to London to witness the birth of his newborn son. So his son's newborn, probably
Yeah,
still in hospital, just got home,
Yeah.
and he's already back.
Well, it's
While
Yeah,
his
that's-
mid-tournament
that's the
departure
part- I do
drew.
understand that part.
It
He hasn't
says-
missed it and he's still doing both. So
Yeah.
To be fair, it does say, so shout out to the Belgian camp, because it does say here, whilst the tournament departure drew criticism from the French media, the
Yeah.
mood inside the actual Belgian camp itself remains entirely supportive.
Yeah, that's
so that's good. So shout out to them, but the French media need to.
yeah, fix up.
Yeah, I've got too much in the swear jar. So if you guys would like,
I've been noticing you.
yeah, have you noticed? I've started to.
I was about to praise us
I
at the end of
can't-
this episode as
I
well.
can't
because
mortgage
nobody
nothing.
had-
Swear jar.
Born,
No,
yeah.
the truth is I'm broke. I can't support football because I'm broke, and I can't swear anymore because I'm broke, mate. So like, turns out being broke is actually kind of useful sometimes. But
No, that's a regular occurrence. That is like so. That happens regularly in the Prem as well, where
like they'll go away, then come straight
they
back.
go for the one day and go because like Harvey Barnes. I'm a Newcastle fan, so Harvey Barnes had a child this season just gone, and he was gone for one game, and then he's back to the squad.
So away from football and work, where else do you guys experience? I don't know how to word it. Like, dads not being taken seriously in what they need to do. Like their role as a dad not being taken seriously, if that makes sense. Like people just like, oh yeah, dad's okay.
During the pregnancy stage as well. Whenever you go to any,
You know what? This was my big thing.
Shout that.
That was my
whenever
big.
you go to like anything to do with the baby.
That was my, because you know what? When the midwife used to come round and ask questions, she'd ask the kid's mum, obviously, fair enough, that's your job.
Yeah.
I would never be asked if I've got any questions. I would ask the questions because you know what I'm like. I don't shut my mouth.
No, I don't mind that if don't ask me questions because I'm not the one that's pregnant. But when I'm generally want to know about certain things and you are the best person to ask, I'm asking you questions and you are looking at me like, why are you even here?
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
No, that's
Because
fair.
I am trying to be supportive for my partner and ask the questions that she may have forgot at the time because she's probably anxious about certain stuff.
Yeah.
She might be worried that she hasn't felt the babies for a while, so like she's worried about that. I might be asking the questions that needs to be asked.
You want to know how to reassure her.
Yeah,
and to
exactly.
support
So-
her through the
Yeah,
pregnancy.
like
I don't really appreciate being made to feel like I'm a spare wheel and I shouldn't even be.
You know what,
be
like-
even, and be in this conversation anyway.
my experience of that was, it's actually crazy. I don't think I've ever told you lot about this. So we had something on top of the midwife called a family nurse practitioner. They come in play for young parents. So parents usually under the age of 21, which me and the children's mum were when she was expecting. And this family nurse practitioner was described to us by the midwife as being there for both parents to help us navigate the changes and all the questions and stuff we'd have and the social stuff and, you know, all the things that come with being a parent and obviously being a young parent, still maturing yourself. When me and the children's mum were no longer together, I messaged the family nurse practitioner just for some support on a few things to go about with co-parenting advice. What do I do to do this, do that? And these were the things she was supposed to be there for. The message I got back was, I can no longer communicate with you because it's a conflict of interest. You're not my client, the children's mum is. And then I referred...
What made her come to that conclusion?
I don't know, because I pulled up the papers and the working, because they have this thing called a working agreement, which you sign, and it goes through what you and their roles are in this thing.
Yeah.
Because family nurse practitioner is a voluntary thing. It's a very new thing, and it was a voluntary scheme that was going on. And I just
You
says to
both
her,
signed that?
yeah, we both signed it,
So
and
you're
it
both the
says,
clients?
this is the thing, and it says in there that the support is for the family. It's a family nurse practitioner. It's for both parents. It's for the children, and we might not be a traditional family,
But you're still a
but we're a
family.
co-parenting family. And if anything, I'm actually asking you for advice on co-parenting. How does this work? And I'm asking you on advice about my children, but apparently I can't ask you anymore, and I've got to go to a different thingy because it's a conflict of interest. Where's the conflict? The interest is the children.
Yeah.
That's what my thoughts were.
I've got to be honest. I've never experienced anything like it. I wouldn't necessarily say I didn't feel welcome. I wouldn't say, weren't pulling me in with open arms and hugs, but it was like
Yeah.
I felt like I could ask something if I needed to.
Okay.
Or like the only time I felt weird, but like I also fully get it, is when there was a point where we went to one appointment, and then she was asked to go into a separate room to ask about questions and stuff.
Oh, is that like
that's
they do
standard.
the,
He's asking about sort of like
the domestic abuse and violence? Yeah, that's
So like,
part
and
of the
so like
procedure.
that felt weird. It's like, this is not very nice. But I also fully get it because obviously it's safety.
Yeah, they have
isn't
to
it?
check all that stuff.
So like, apart from that, but again, if that's going to potentially save somebody from that sort of situation, then I'll take it every day. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think you got a much better experience than I did like the first time round, because like I went in there like really the first couple of like meetings and stuff. I went in there like quite enthusiastic and like was ready to ask like certain questions and stuff, and then I just felt like I was only going to support my partner, because when I was asked the first few times when I asked questions, I just kind of got this look with like, dead eyes, like, why are you even?
Yeah.
Did you find when you got answers they were
shut down.
shorter for you than they were for your partner?
Say that again, sorry.
Did you find when you asked questions and they did answer?
They did answer, but
Did they
like,
answer shorter to you for your answers than they did? Because I found when I got answers, the answers were kind of short, straight to the point, blunt, not much around it.
I get that in a sense because they are mainly there for
Yeah, of course. For the midwife.
Yeah, they're there to
they've
sort
only-
of look after the pregnancy, aren't they?
and they've
Yeah,
only
yeah.
got a certain period of time. With
That's why I don't feel like I had a bad experience. I didn't feel alienated. So I can't fault it, to be honest.
I just felt like a spare wheel, and they just did not.
That's not
me there.
Spare part of the...
Yeah.
Should just be like a respected, like speaking to both of you, even though it's sort of for her.
Yeah.
Because like
Don't get me
you
wrong,
know,
like, not every session was like that. There
Yeah.
were some that were like really nice, like the scans and stuff like that.
I like the... is it antenatal classes where you go and do the... Like, they teach you basically how to do parenting things and nappies and stuff. I quite like them because they were fun, because I was there thinking, I'm going to be the only dad. I think I was just turning 19 and whatnot. Like I was 18, still turning 19. I turned up and it was so funny because we're all there looking at each other, all these dads. I didn't expect so many dads to be there. And we're looking at each other when they say, put a nappy on the baby. And I was like, is this the right way, mate? Which way do the tabs go? And he's like, mate, I ain't got a clue. I says, but she just told us, and it was going to look like we weren't listening. Like I quite like the antenatal classes and whatnot.
The thinking back on them, they are quite funny now. Like when I
Thing is, you go there panicking and everything. Like it's. I did.
I didn't go in there panicking. I was
like, I
going
need to
in
do
there
this
thinking,
perfectly right.
I'm gonna like learn some interesting stuff, and then as I do, like sometimes I like people watch. And and like trying to figure out like the certain dynamics of like couples and like dads and stuff. So,
Yeah.
you could kind of
Who
tell
wears
like
the jeans?
yeah, and like you could kind of tell like the dads that this is going to be their first kid.
Yeah.
It's like we're all like glued on and hanging off everything that the
Yeah.
woman's like trying to teach us and stuff. And you can see like the dads that have been through all this before, and they're just kind of ticking a box because the mum wanted to go again. You can see,
Was that laugh because you've had to do that, Bobs?
it's quite funny.
To be fair, I never went to anything like that.
You can see the ones where the dad has had a kid before, but like he's obviously got a new partner and that's their first child together.
Yeah.
So like the mum's like quite enthusiastic about it, and the dad's
just say like, oh,
know all of this.
this again.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And it's weird, like you gain a little bit of a bond with like all of them. Like you don't really talk to them that much, but like you're all going through that experience.
Yeah, you have them. It goes back to the dad nod, doesn't it?
Yeah, you gain a little bit of a bond, and then like as soon as that class is over, that's it.
Do you know, I remember one of them gave me his phone number, and he must have phoned me 3-4 months after the class, and I was like, "Who's this, bro?" And he's given me his name. I'm like, "Who's that? I don't know who you are. Stop calling me." I put the phone down, and I said to the children's mum, "Oh, I've just had a random call, and they're claiming they come from the class." And she's like, "Yeah, that's so and so's fella." I was like, "Oh."
Did you ring him back?
No, I didn't. No, because the thing is,
at least text him
no,
back.
but I was passively aggressive. I was like, "Who the?" I can't say the actual word because it's going to cost me money, but like, because they was claiming to know me, and they weren't claiming because they did know me from the class, but I didn't remember them, and I was passive aggressive. So I thought, ooh, as soon as that phone was down, I never picked it back up, and I'm so glad they've never phoned me. But if you're watching this and you know who you are, give me a shout, man. We'll link up. I'll make
I
up
think
for
he's
my
more likely
problems.
to top your tie, mate.
Yeah. Don't give him a shout. Leave him on red, mate.
Yeah. Well, don't do that either, man. I was confused. Right, so moving on.
Because he's out of order.
I was. And you know what? As a man, I'll hold my hands up. I apologise. But like, besides pregnancy then, because that is something which we can be pushed out of easily. What else? Is there anything else? I know, for me, school gates.
I think
Okay, so besides pregnancy, because obviously we've all had our different experiences, what about the school gates? Do you guys feel slightly left out in school stuff? Or like in terms of the groups and when you're speaking or...
See, I kind of did, and I did for quite a while, but now I'm parent governor at school. So
Fair play.
I must have done
Congratulations,
right.
actually, Bobs. Yeah.
Thank you. So
I mean, now the
don't
parents
know.
have to talk to you, so it's not a choice.
Yeah.
I'm in there for the dads.
They might have started talking to you now, Bobs, but that's by force.
That's I mean, I guess there's a few different ways of looking at it. I'm not really there very often because of like the childminder picking him up, their mum picking him up and that. So I'm not really there very often. And in the mornings, I'd rarely take them because I take them to the childminder.
Yeah.
And then, but then there's a few people I do talk to, and I suppose it is more dads, and there's a couple of them I play football with and stuff. So that's like, so that's all right. But I have, at first, it did feel very sort of weird when I first went there. It's predominantly women in the playground. And then I kind of did just feel like a little bit like, I'm just there on my own then. No, not in a bad way. Like, I weren't trying to talk to people and they were shutting me down, but I also just didn't feel like I could.
Yeah.
So you're just that quiet guy.
Seems like you,
Wait for my kids and go.
it seems like you just needed to feel it out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like that in most environments, to be fair. To be honest.
No, with me being like separated from my son's mum, it's like because I've got my week, so I didn't feel like I played. Like the teachers are always like talk to me about whatever, and then the other week, which is obviously speaking to her. So I've never really experienced anything like that. I don't really like mingle with
Other parents.
with the parents. No, there's a couple like I could say hello to and all that business, but don't really mingle. Like the rest of them seem to have struck up a few friendships and stuff
Got their
like
little
that,
cliques.
so, yeah, little cliques and that. So, but at my daughter's nursery, like we, there's a lot of couples that go together, and me and my partner go together quite regularly, and that. So it's that's not one that's been an issue for us.
Okay. What about you, Nat?
I am all the way integrated into the school, to be honest.
Man said that with so much. I'm all the way.
So like, we've got quite a few like parent friends and stuff, and like they've been to like my birthday parties and whatever.
Yeah.
The coach to my eldest son's football team, so like all of the kids apart from 2 in that football team, they go
to that school.
So like I know all of those parents and stuff like that. So like drop off and pick up for me is either a gift or a curse. So it's, if I'm feeling sociable, it's like
It's a gift.
How you doing? Doing? If I literally just want to drop them off and get to work,
It's a
Which
curse.
is
it's a bit of, it's a bit of a long, it's a bit of a long day, but I'm very much integrated into this
To be fair,
primary school.
I'd say now I am integrated. Previously I wasn't. And part of it, I'll be honest, it's an age thing. I'm walking on that playground looking like I need to put a uniform on and get in class. At one point, like, it's true, bro.
Bearing in mind they're in primary school.
Yeah, exactly. No. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you when I say some of the year sixes are almost my height. I'm 5'6", somewhere around there. Some of the year sixes are my height, so I could probably get away with it if I shaved the beard off and didn't have 99% on my neck tattooed. Then I could probably get away with that. And then I think another part was at my kids' school. There's, I'd say, 85% moms, 15% dads. The 15% of dads seems like every day is a bad day for them. They just want to get in and out. They don't want to be there. The 85% moms, they didn't quite talk to me straight away because, to be fair to them, I'm just this young boy. Like, I'm not a dad or a man or anything. I'm a young boy because they're like
kids, brother.
Yeah.
Just
You know what I'm saying?
The parents going up to the teacher going, what's he doing now?
This is. It wouldn't surprise me if that has ever happened. But like, I think I started to slowly integrate when people started talking to my missus because we do the school run together quite a lot. And when Mom started to speak to my missus, because like me, she's short, but she's much shorter, so she's like 4'9", as I've mentioned before. Like, she's a dwarf. So people come up to him and say to her, it must have been hard carrying twins. And that starts a conversation. And then the conversation gets transferred to, obviously, she's bonus mom, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now, the only I don't want to say it's major negativity, because I get they're trying to make fun out of situations and jokey situations and banter. But the only thing I find kind of makes me then back into my corner away from everyone is the comments that follow when they find out I've got full custody of my children. It's usually comments like, their mom must have done a madness because dads don't get custody, or, oh, did she go to the shop for milk before you? And I know they're saying that as a joke, but at the same time, I don't accept it.
No.
And it makes me have to awkwardly laugh and walk away because like I said, I'm a man now. I'm not a little boy.
You should tell them, no, you should hold them to account.
You know what it is?
That's offensive.
I feel like on the playground, time and place to hold people to account.
I don't know. I mean, those exact words, fair enough. Or it's people who know you, kind of fair enough. I think, you know, when I had my situation and I told people that, like, you know, I've got my girls most of the time. They're like, oh, that doesn't really happen very often. And it doesn't.
Genuine surprise. Like,
yeah. So it's like, I mean, making a comment and stuff, if you don't know the person, could be rude, absolutely. But it does take people aback a little bit.
No, it definitely does take people. And I'm fully aware and prepared for that because I'm fully aware from being through the court system and everything. It is true. Not many dads get full custody. And essentially, a lot of the time, it is, unfortunately, due to the other parent not being the greatest for the children at the time. But it just takes me aback a little because I start to finally become a bit more socially butterfly, you know, like try and integrate and blend in.
Then that just brings...
Then they make that joke and I get they're just trying to joke and they're shocked and they're like, oh, let's try and make light of a negative situation, and I get it. But there's kind of ways of wording and saying things, and that's why I don't kick off about it. Yeah. I kind of just... and then walk off. I know that was a really sad face. Go home, have a quick cry.
Do you know, thinking back to what you said about, like, a lot of the dads don't really want to chat on the school
they don't talk. They don't want to. It's just
it's like it pretty much everywhere. They just want to get in and out. The way that I made friends with the dads is kind of outside of the school bit. So, like, if I see them in the park.
Yeah.
When I'll take my kids to the park, we'll just like spark up a conversation, like chat about football or whatever like that, and then it kind of builds from
the universal bonding.
Yeah, kind of builds from there. And
but
then
there we go.
Continue having chats after that.
Yeah. You've just give out a piece of advice that I can't do. Can't talk football, bro. Look, the fans have already said this on our podcast.
Not all dads are into football. Yeah. They might be into what you're into as well. Living it. Exactly.
To be honest, I don't think many people are into cameras and watching people scrap on Broad Street. Because I watch knockout audits and stuff like that. You like the boxing though, don't you? Yeah, I love boxing. Boxing's my thing. Like, I love boxing, but...
And half of the people in this room really like cameras.
Huh? Yeah. You. 2 and 4 and da-da-da. Yeah, there's 4 people in this room, Bobs.
And on that note... That is all.
Bob's has just hit us with the dad joke of the year. You know?
That was a good one. And on that one, that's all we've got time for the episode today. But let us know if you've ever experienced the double standard of being a dad, so we can discuss in the chats, because we want to get a conversation going in the chats. And if you did like this episode, if it hit home for you, make sure to like and subscribe as well, because we're trying to get that subscription up
To a one-er.
as well.
Let's get to 100.
Can we get to 100?
I'd just like
by
to
the
throw
end
out
of the
there as
year?
well a new competition. So the best roast comment for Will gets £5 out the swear jar.
And do you know what the worst thing is? That £5 self-funded as well, because I'm the winner of the swear jar.
You are at the minute, but when it ends, you might not be.
It's guaranteed I'm going to be. I have a bad, foul potty mouth, and I'm trying to get better.
Oh, gosh.
Trying to.
No spoilers then, eh?
No.
This has been DadPod, guys.
Have a good
Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Looking forward to your roast.